Hey everyone, it's Armor Gaming. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to Monster Legends. Welcome to the Crabby Droid Marathon. That's right, we're in the middle of a team race and let me tell you, it is something, right? None of us really love these marathons. They are just very time consuming, but I will say it is, at least right now, it does appear to be easier than the previous Lord Ampseed marathon. So that's good, that's really good. If you're wondering why I'm going through my earth monsters and scrolling to the right, it's because I need to purchase Rockilla, because right now we have a quest where we need to hatch Rockillas. We need to hatch an earth common monster, so that's Rockilla. And because of all these offers right now, it's taking longer for me to scroll. But yeah, anyways, right now the race does appear to be easier than the previous race. I'll post a screenshot of this was extracted from the official Monster Legends Discord page, comparing the Lord Ampseed race to this race. As you can see, a lot easier. Not as much one member must breed X amount of epics, especially early on, right? If you look at the Lord Ampseed quest, by the 4th lap, one member breeds 6 epics. That came up twice, and that never came up on the Crabby Droid quest up until the 5th lap, and it was one time. And again, if you look at the Lord Ampseed, there's just a lot more red. There's a lot more epic requiring like just one member to rank up an epic. So it does appear to be easier right now, which is a good thing, right? If you look at the 10th lap, joint effort breed 10 legendaries on the Crabby Droid quest. That's something that happened only in the Crabby Droid, not so much at Lord Ampseed in the beginning. But yeah, that's just a little quick screenshot showing that. Right now it does appear to be easier. Here is our current progress. Let me click on the Grand Prix. So right now, Army Gaming Alliance has 13 out of 4. So I mean, out of 4 because you only need 4 laps to essentially get the very first reward, which I haven't even seen what it is. Let's find out what it is. Click on rewards, scroll all the way down. Ooh, a Nautilus. Keep in mind this monster is the bugged monster. He has a skill that when you use it will give him an extra turn for Prey becomes Hunter. For every single monster, the enemy monster gets hit, you'll get an extra turn. So that skill can essentially give you 3 extra turns. Then we have Kazorg, who's honestly an incredible monster. If you can only do 8 laps and get this monster, you're good to go. But you really should shoot for the 15 laps, because keep in mind, the way Forsaken monsters work is that if you get them the first time, you're good, and there's going to be future events where you can get cells. If you don't get Crabby Droid right now, it appears that there's going to be no way to get him in the future. Now, I'm still not 100% convinced that SocialPoint will make it so no new players can get Forsaken monsters, but I guess we'll see. But yeah, Crabby Droid, you need at least 15 laps to get them. And then, yeah, there's all of these extra stuff. So obviously, if you can do 85 laps, that's awesome. Get him at rank 4, get all of his ranked up skills. But again, I still really believe that at the very minimum, you need this monster at rank 3. Because at rank 3, you would get your trait protection trait. This monster has an evolving trait. The cool thing about trait protection is that you can't get your traits removed. And your other trait, at rank 0, unranked, this monster has tough, and at rank 1 you get freeze immunity. And the reason having trait protection and freeze immunity is so good is because you'll never be able to be frozen. There's literally no way to remove your traits, so there's literally no way to ever freeze you. So even if you face Thalassa, and Thalassa specifically, if she does her Abyss Bottom skill, it's not going to do anything. If you read through the skill, it says removes positive effects from one enemy, disables trait on one enemy, applies Mega Freeze. Now, Crabby Droid is not a monster that has status caster trait protection. It is a perm trait protection. So, again, it cannot be removed. It is incredible. So, you really want to get this monster ranked up. Also, because if you look at this monster's unranked skill set, and actually, let's pull up this monster's skills just so we can see what he has to offer when he's ranked up. So, Tier 4, disables trait on one enemy, applies Mega Stun to one enemy. This is really cool because if you're facing any monster that has dodge area or any monster that needs to be trait disabled, there you go, and then you can Mega Stun. Funny thing is that if you were to do this skill against a rank 3 Crabby Droid, they would not get their trait disabled, but you could still potentially Mega Stun them. The next skill, Cannonball, deals moderate special damage, applies stun to all enemies, applies shock to enemies, nanovirus to all enemies. That's an awesome skill. AoE stun. You also get that added shock and nanovirus, so they can't apply positive effects and they can't utilize extra turn skills. Applies thunder weakness to all enemies, deals moderate thunder damage. This is interesting because this monster actually has a high power stat as well, 3542. You apply thunder weakness first, and then you deal that extra thunder damage. That's awesome as well. It also shocks. And then Portuguese Man of War. This is the main reason to get this monster at rank 4, which is when you got to complete 85 laps. Applies Mega Freeze to an enemy, applies Freeze to all enemies, applies Drown to all enemies. This can target dodge aerial monsters, which is incredible, right? If you're facing a Wormlad, you can Mega Freeze Wormlad and AoE freeze his allies. So, great final skill, Portuguese Man of War. But then if you look at rank 3, removes positive effects from all enemies, applies stun to all enemies, applies freeze to all enemies. This skill is great, it won't trigger relics, it deals 0 damage, that's why it has a high fortune cooldown, high 45 stamina cost. But it's cool because you remove positive effects and then you stun and you freeze. So obviously this is useful because if you face a Megaton monster, it's useful if you face monsters that have skill mirror, evasion. This is just great deny, you stun and freeze. It obviously won't work against a monster with the mountain trait, but just the fact they have 2 types of denial, stun and freeze, I think that's amazing. If you fight Ithalassa, who makes your team immune to freeze, well there you go, you have that stun potential. But then keep in mind at Lion's main tier 4, you get the capability to trade disable an enemy monster. This monster also has an extra turn skill or 2. Great Barrier Savior applies Sea Hater to all allies, applies Precision if you're facing any sea monsters. This is gonna be a sea monster killer. And then you also have another skill, where was it? Removes positive effects from one enemy, gives 1 extra turn to itself. This is basically like going back to Thalassa. This is almost like High Pressure Fluid. It is exactly High Pressure Fluid, right? Removes positive effects from one enemy, gives 1 extra turn. So there's a Megaton monster that you need to remove the Megaton. Bam, High Pressure Fluid, and then you can go on and single trait disable if you have that skill. You can go on and do your AoE skill if you want to do your AoE skill. Like, this monster is really good. Crabby Droid I am really liking. Speed stat, I don't know if I mentioned this. This video could have basically been a analysis, but this monster has a speed stat of 3575, which officially makes it one of the fastest monsters in Monster Legends. In terms of water monsters, it is the fastest, tied with Frossilka. 3575 is the fastest speed stat in the water category. It outplaces Warmaster Thalassa and Zemyaya, who both have a speed stat of 3542. So this monster is crazy fast. And then even in terms of every monster that's been released, this speed stat is tied with Lord Pumpseed, Warmaster Charizard, Barbrail, Kronks. So incredibly fast monster. Alright, let me go back to hatching. Where are you, Rockilla? Let me go back to hatching Rockilla. I'll give you guys some basic advice for the race. The first being communication. Communication is so important, especially when it comes to those one frog quests. If it's like one player must collect 26 million gold, instead of trying to just get as many points as possible, you should call it out in the chat. You can kind of see it right there. Felix said, "Oh, OFA." You want to call it out in the chat so that not everyone is going for it. So in this particular quest lap we're just on, first member to rank up 4 epic monsters completes the quest. It would have been dumb if I started ranking up epic monsters and then Felix also ranks up epic monsters, and then Simon also ranks up epic monsters, and then we're all wasting our gems ranking up epic monsters because we didn't communicate. So the first and the biggest advice is always going to be communication. You always want to communicate with your team what you're going to be doing. Okay, communication is important. You can use Facebook Messenger, you can use Discord. I think that's what most players are using nowadays. So find some way to communicate. Definitely communicate during the in-game via the in-game chat. That's the most useful because those are the active players. If you can dedicate a time, this goes back to communication. If you can dedicate a time to just push through laps, you know, one of the biggest bottlenecks is the do your parts. Right here in the middle, this one's easy. 4 members must win 1 PvP. That's easy enough. But there's those that say 15 members must do XYZ. If you can dedicate a time to just be like, alright guys, for this hour, for 2 hours, we're just going to grind, we're going to push laps. That's going to get you very far. Okay, do that. Collecting food. Let's talk about collecting food. Basically what I like to do, plant the black lotus root, collected. Plant the black lotus root, plant winged angel beans. It depends on the tasks. Some tasks are gonna require you to collect 40k food, in which case 2 winged angel beans will do it. Some food will require a lot of stuff, in which the black lotus root will do it. So just have a variety of stuff in your food collection, and don't collect unless a node calls for it. Same for gold. As you can see, my gold is pretty much full, but I have no reason to collect because there's gonna be a joint effort that requires me to collect a bunch of food. Or sorry, a bunch of gold. Or one frog that's going to require me to collect a bunch of gold. So that's why I'm not collecting right now. And as you can see, this Rockilla quest is super easy. It's just a little time consuming. And again, it's a little annoying with all these offers going up. that I have to scroll all the way to the right a lot more than usually I would have to. Where are you, Rockilla? I wish I could sort by common monsters. That would make life so much easier. So sort by Earth, scroll all the way to the right. We'll do a hard push. Do it again. And did I skip them? I might have skipped them. Scroll to the left now. I went to... Oh, there he is. Okay, so there's Rockilla. Since that PvP node came up, my biggest advice for PvP is to put a weak defense. Now, we also have a 72-hour challenge, so you might not want to trophy drop too much because depending on what league you're in, will determine how many coins you get. But so as you can see, I'm still in Legendary 4. If I click refresh, some of these bases are a little tough, right? Look at that middle base right there. That Kane, Ragnarök, the Lhasa. 130 to 120 to dodge area monsters. The one on the right is easy. But my best advice is to put a very weak defense team. I am talking common monsters, right? This is my defense team right now. So if I go into my defense log, look at the kind of opponents that beat me. A 105, who is this monster anyways? A Stinger, Baylor, level 105, level 100 monsters, level 100 monsters, 100 monsters, 100 monsters. Basically, it makes it so that people can easily beat me. Now, I'm still maintaining, like, because I win enough battles and I lose enough battles, I'm still maintaining my Legendary 4 League. So every time I spin the roulette wheel, I get 500 coins for the 72-hour challenge. So at least I'm still doing that. But yeah, the battles are so easy. Like, I'll literally fight level 100 monsters. I can click auto. The AI wins for me, so I don't even have to take long. Every battle lasts like 10 seconds tops. So put a very easy, weak defense team, because otherwise you're going to be facing bases like the ones on the left, which are a lot more challenging and a little more time consuming. And when you're trying to race, you're just trying to go through it as fast as possible. So that's my biggest advice to you guys. Put a very weak defense team so that you can easily win, okay? And then because this node popped up, the one with ranking epic monsters, so unfortunately, there are going to be some nodes that you just have to skip outright with gems. So this is a good time if you're thinking about using your gems in the game because you want to purchase one of these offers. I would say no. Instead, well, it really depends what kind of team you have. If you have an active team, your gems for the duration of this race should be dedicated to the team. Now, of course, you always have to be careful with that, especially if you're jumping from team to team, you're not familiar with the leads or anything. Maybe you shouldn't spend as much because there's so many cases where players have been kicked out, and that would be really unfortunate. But if you've been with your long loyal team, you would probably already know this, that gems are really valuable going towards the race, right? Whereas, yeah, you could go into the shop and buy yourself a monster for like 300 gems. Wouldn't it be better? Watch, and yeah, that's what they cost right now. Like, these are some pretty good monsters. Hukwai, 345. Awesome. But while you could do that, it's definitely a lot better to invest in the race, because in the race, everyone gets a monster. So instead of just you getting a monster, everyone gets a monster. And Crabby Droid is a Forsaken monster, so it's not like you're going to be getting them easily anytime soon. By the way, he also has really great slots. He can hold the banner, Ingvar's banner, charging banner, so he doesn't worry about stamina. He can hold the essence, so revival essence. Just a fantastic monster. Turned out to be way better than I thought. But anyhow, I digress. I think I was talking about, oh yeah, gemming. So, if you take a look at the Grand Prix, the race one right now, the one for all, the lap, first remember to rank up 4 epic monsters. This would not be a quest that you should just gem automatically. Some quests are a lot easier and cheaper to actually do manually. So for example, if I just rank up epic monsters, I could skip all the epic rank ups, and that would cost a lot cheaper. It would probably be like 80 gems tops, depending who I rank up, than actually gemming that node outright, which would probably be like upwards of 200 or maybe like 180 plus. So just be smart about how you gem as well. Anything that requires PvP, one for all PvP, do not gem that. You can easily just do the multiplayer battles. You can buy PvP attacks for 5 gems. That'll be a lot cheaper. And again, this is why you want to set a weak defense team, so you could easily battle them. If a node pops up that says I need to win 12 PvP, well, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 very easy PvP battles. So again, you just want to have as many easy PvP battles as possible. It'll make life so much easier. Trust me when I say that. So, give me one sec. Back to doing my Rockilla hatches. And this Rockilla one, fortunately, it's just tiresome, and it's not actually difficult. I wish I had more slots unlocked, because then that would make my life so much easier. And actually, the only reason I'm hatching Dr. Murray Halson. He's interrupting my first day of the race because I could have another hatchery slot open. The only reason I have Dr. Murray Halson hatching is because of this legendary Overlords challenge. Okay, I have 204 points, so I needed to hatch a monster that would give me 60 points. And so that's going to be Dr. Murray Halson, just so I can get that level 8 rune. I figured that that level 8 rune would be super valuable. I'm going to have to gem his hatch in... I'll do it in 15 minutes, so it only costs me 18 gems as opposed to 19 gems. That way I get that level 8 rune, and then I'll have another hatchery slot open. This was from the Neobuki breeding event, which I have failed. I only tried once because I knew the race was coming up. And again, when the race starts, when a marathon starts, you want to dedicate your account towards the team so that the team can get everything. So unfortunately, I only got to try that one time. I think it's still going on. Breeding event. Yep, for 2 more hours it's going on. But I couldn't really participate in that just because I'm focusing on opening up my hatchery slot so that it's available. That way I can easily hatch monsters if I need it. I can easily, these are both doing pandakins in case I need a pandakin or whatever. What else? Shopping, extract. Oh yeah, make sure your rank up is available. Make sure your extracting is available. Well, it really depends. The team has 30 players. Some players can start ranking up epic monsters. That way they're available. Some players can start hatching... whatever it may be. So just be smart about how you utilize this. And one thing I've actually started utilizing in previous races is you could actually, let's say I rank up a pandakin. I think I have a pandakin to rank up. Let's say I rank up a pandakin. What you could do is rank up, let's say a task requires me to rank up an epic monster. Let me see, who should I do just for the sake of the video? So some epic monsters will cost 23 gems to rank up. Others will be like 18. Dragonian Beast is special. He's like literally 1 gem to rank up. Watch. See, I can borrow this for 1 gem. I'm gonna rent it. So see, he's actually done in an hour. He's literally the best epic monster to rank up. So anyways, that first one that is free, just leave it alone and you can actually borrow the rest. So let me see, who do I think is cheap just off the top of my head? I think mostly if it's like the early monsters, nature, those are a little cheaper. Rank up, 23 hours. No, see, there's an 18-hour one. So let's see if we can find it real quick. Who is 18 hours? He's 18 hours. Rank up. So some of the breedable ones. See, 16 hours, 30 minutes. I'm going to go ahead and rent. And you might be thinking, Armor, why are you renting? That's a waste of gems. It's not a waste because I'm not going to actually speed it up. So I'm only actually paying half and I'm going to wait the 16 hours. So that way, whenever they become available, whenever the node pops up where one player has to rank up, those are going to be good to go. They're going to be ready. So I'm kind of just helping my team out ahead of time. That's essentially all I'm doing. So I'm pretty sure this one will also be the 1630. Perfect. Rent. So yeah, I'm gonna, whenever the node pops up in a day or whatever, hey guys, I already have 3 epic monsters ready. Now I'm not gonna have to gem all 18 gems, 18 gems, 18 gems, 18 gems. So it's just a smarter way to play. So actually utilize the being able to rent out pods. That's what I've been doing with previous races. So that's what I recommend nowadays. Going back to Rockilla, I wonder if we're going to be able to finish. I think that's going to be my objective. Finish Rockilla, and then that'll end the video. So don't worry, guys. I have plenty to talk about. There's plenty of advice to give. Let's scroll to the right. Another biggest one, since I'm just buying for time, is literally like, it has to go back with the whole like being able to be kicked off a team. It's tough because if you're not with a loyal team, you have no idea if the leader knight is going to kick you. So my biggest advice is be careful how you spend when you're on a different team, okay? Just be super, super careful. Alright, joint effort, we're at 37 out of 42. I've done 16, so after this round, I think we should be good. Like I said, I haven't done collection. Hopefully, it can be a... Hopefully, it's a collect gold. Oh, another thing I like to do, I haven't done it right now, but I always like to have a level 4 rune crafting or ready to collect, just because I feel like that pops up a lot. Level 5 also pops up, but it's just useful if you have a level 4 ready. It doesn't cost too much, so I would recommend to do that. Let's see, we have 5 members on. Let's say welcome back. Can't spell. So yeah, this is gonna get done really fast. And sometimes you can even call ahead of time. If it's collect gold, can I OFA before I sleep? That way they know that at least that if it's a collect gold, I want to just collect as soon as possible. Because I haven't done a collection, and as you can see, I have like no food because I used it all leveling up relics. So that's the one bad thing I did. Knowing there was a race coming up, I used up my food, I used up my gold. So don't be my armor, okay? Okay, cool. So got the acknowledgement. So now we're just waiting. I think I was gonna say Thunder Eagles. My Rockillas are just about ready, so it's just a waiting game. And that's kind of the bad thing about race. Like, this fortunately is not as hard as Lord Pumpseed, but the races are still boring. Doing the repetitive task over and over and over again, knowing that we have to do them for 85 laps, that's just boring. So let's sell this, and in 8 seconds there'll probably be a new node. There might be a new node up already. Oop, just need this one, and then my teammate will take care of the rest. So that's 41 out of 42. In the meantime, we can talk about the event. Oh, there it is. First member to collect. So I will collect all. And this one is pretty self-explanatory. Everything gets collected. Click on the Grand Prix. And success. I got that. 10 members must rank up 1 rare. Oh, look at that. The Pelican. Success there. And what else can we do? Grand Prix. All members contribute as much as they can to breed 25 uncommon earth monsters. So fire and common is what you want to do for that. So breed fire and common. Clearly I'm sleepy. Fire and earth is what I want to do. So if we click on fire, and if we click on earth, where are you? Fire, earth. Oh, do I not have any Rockillas? Did I sell them all? Sorry, I clicked on fire and fire. So fire and earth, Rockillas. So see all those Rockillas that you had to hatch, they could actually come in handy. So 1 minute and 11. I think that might be it. Keep in mind I have my breeding guardian on, so this is useful. And my advice to activating the breeding guardian, if you have, this goes back to communication. Not everyone should activate the breeding guardian on the first day. You can kind of rotate around so that players can utilize Camilla efficiently. So let's see what this turns out to be. And I guess it looks like I'm not sleeping. Oh, cool. I almost missed these. This guy became our best friend during the Lord Pumpseed marathon. So let me just buy his cells, and need a couple more. Almost there. There we go. Sold out. So anytime you see cells, honestly, for any monster that's a rare monster that costs gold, I always just buy them out. You never know when you're gonna need them, so it's always good to have them. Frito cells for sure you're gonna want. And let's see, who did I get? 6 minutes. Oh, there he is. Cool. So he's a rare earth and fire, and I think we need what? Uncommon. All members contribute as much as they can to be 25 uncommon monsters. So yeah, I'm just gonna be helping with that. Let's see, I could probably do this one as well. So let me sell this, and let me try over here, breed, fire and earth. This is why it's useful to have 2 Rockillas, and thankfully, again, if you did that Rockilla hatching quest, you'll be good to go. Let's scroll up. There you are, Fire Lion, and why do I keep doing fire and fire? Fire Lion and Rockilla. So it's not the minute 11 one, so it's probably gonna be the 36-second one. That's the one that'll yield the monster I want. So if you need to hatch Pandakins, Greenosaurs for ranking up, very easy, right? It's easy to breed them. Put them in your monster vaults. I think I tell everyone, this is why I like to have everything very close to each other. My hatchery next to my breeding tree, to my breeding mountain, to my monster lab, so that I can very easily craft, or not craft, extract, rank up, and breed. It's very, very easy to do it if you have everything right next to each other, as opposed to like having to scroll all the way here because your hatchery's here, another hatchery's here, your breeding tree's over here. Like, just make your life easier. So repeat, and I think that's it right here. Let's see. Wait, not this one right here. Yeah, Fire Kong. He is the uncommon earth monster. So Fire Kong is who you're after. Alright, 1 out of 25. That's going to be a while. I got to collect gold. Really quickly, we can talk about this stuff over here. So, the team, there's teams and there's your teammates. With teams, the reason this matters, being first, second, third, whatever, is because this is how you get position rewards. If you get first place, take a look at that. You get an additional 150 cells. So theoretically, if you're in a pool where no one is racing, it's possible for you to get 15 laps, right? Get your Crabby Droid, and if you happen to get like second place, at least second or first, you'll still get a rank 1 Crabby Droid because you'll be able to rank them up with cells. But yeah, if you get first place, you get 150. If you get second place, you get 120. Third place is 80, and so on. So ideally, you want to place somewhere in the first or second if possible. But you also have to ask yourself, is it worth it to do the extra work for the extra cells? Once again, this is a Forsaken monster, so cells are valuable, but is it worth it? And in terms of individual rewards, this is the best way to get food, essentially. You get 5 million food, you get some Crabby Droid cells, and then you get some chests. So if you're first place, you'll get a gold relic chest. If you're second, you'll get 3 silvers, and then 2 silvers, and so on. Up until I think it's 20th place. Yeah, 20th place, you get 3 bronze, and then after that, all you get is food. So this is determined with how active you are in the race and how many points you can get. So currently I'm in 10th, I have 8,000. And yeah, so don't worry too much about this. But this is a good way to see like whoever's in 30th place, 29th place, if they're probably not putting in as much effort, right? If it's like day 2 in the race and you have no points and you get kicked, that's probably a good reason why you got kicked. The fact that you didn't do anything for 2 days. Once again, this is a team race. It is a team effort. So if you're not putting in your part, that's something you should really tell your team. Like, hey guys, I really want this monster, but I'm super busy. I'm not going to be able to play. Like, yeah, you want the monster, and yeah, you've been on the team, but if you're not putting in your effort, you don't really deserve the monster. So sometimes that's a self-conversation you need to have with certain teammates. But yeah, guys, I think that's going to be it, because I don't need to show you guys every single thing, especially because this node is going to take a while. So yeah, I think we're going to call it a day. Best of luck to all of you on this marathon. I wish you the best of luck on the Hydromarket marathon. Let me know in the comments below, how many laps is your team going for? Are you going to be going for the 125, 110, 95? Are you going for rank 4, rank 3? What are your thoughts? What are you planning to do? I believe we have a Grand Prix, so let's see how the teams are doing in the top. We have AFK at 40, Left Hand of God of 37, Quantum at 34, Great Guys at 32, Frogs of War at 26, and then we are, where is AGA? We are at 13 laps and we are at rank 35, tied with a couple other teams, right? All of us here have 13, so we're technically like tied for 28th place. So yeah, it looks like a lot of players are going. It is a lot easier than last time, right? The first day is about to end already on here, and it's on Monday. Can you imagine a weekend, how much we're going to be able to push and grind? So looking forward to that weekend. Hopefully it doesn't get too tough. We'll see if SocialPoint did make it easier all across the board. But yeah, with that being said, let me know in the comments below, how many laps is your team going for? And best of luck to all of you on this crazy marathon race.